So we will start with the first session about automation, and I will soon introduce who we have here for this session. Later on, we will have a guest speaker joining us as well, and who will talk more about automation and scripting specifically. And the second part of today would be dedicated to particle therapy and particle planning. So also joined by guest speaker from University of Oklahoma. So it's full of presentations. So lovely to see you here. Let's kickstart with the first one. And the first one is, yes, so software-powered automation, RaySearch solutions for clinics. So here we have an open discussion with three our automation geniuses, or I would also like to say the best experts from Sweden. So I'll start from there. Emil Ekström, here we have him here. So Emil would represent our development part of RaySearch. So please, you have a lot on your shoulders, so no expectations, it's all good. Then we have Kjell Eriksson here as well. So our director of research, so representing obviously the research part of it. And last but not least, we have Fredrik Lofman representing machine learning and AI technology within the RaySearch. So automation, you hear it everywhere, right? People are talking that we need to automate, need to have as less clicks as possible and all of that. And we heard it, we know it at RaySearch, and that's we put so much love and effort into automation. So you could focus on what's most important, and that's of course cancer care. So we taking care of the automation, so you can free your time. So, but to not have these empty words, we would like to show you why we put so much effort and how we put so much effort and how you as our users and eventually cancer patients can benefit from that. So that's a little introduction from me, but we should listen to our experts. So please go ahead.
Thank you, Marta, for that introduction. So with automation in planning, we have developed tools kind of across the whole patient journey in radiotherapy. So we start with the auto import. That's basically having an automation from the image requirement all the way into the treatment planning system RayStation, and also triggering deep learning segmentation, a structure template, generating the structures you want, including the ROI algebra. And once you've done that, you can connect that to a treatment protocol where you can set up the treatment beams, your prescription, your delivery technique, etc. Before proceeding to the treatment plan generation. And here we have three alternatives, three different methods we worked on. And the multi-criteria optimization is the first one we developed, the semi-automated approach to treatment planning. And that was introduced more than 10 years ago. More recently, we have developed two fully automated methods called ECHO and deep learning planning. And any of these then can take the generated structures, prescription, beam setup, and automatically generate a treatment plan. Then RayStation is super rich in terms of fine-tuning tools. If you want to adjust the structures, so if you want to adjust the dose distribution, either a dose brush tool, for example, or with fine-tuning tools. So these post-processing tools are perfect as a complement to automation. And then after approval, there's planned delivery. So we have automated the whole kind of journey here in RayStation. And you can combine these approaches the way you want. Across RayStation, you can do scripting. So you can use that scripting in a very versatile way to set up trigger your run, trigger your segmentation, trigger your optimization, etc. And we have a lot of customers utilizing this functionality a lot for automation.
So thank you for that introduction. And it's a discussion, right? So we have prepared some questions that we would like to discuss as the company. But of course, having you in front of us, we would like to hear any thoughts from you. So if you have any questions, please raise your hand. I will come to you and we will discuss that as well. But let's start. So let's warm it up so you also feel quite comfortable of asking your questions. So the first discussion point that we have and we would like to discuss is the value of automation. So in general, what value does automation add to staff and to patients?
Okay, so automation will save time, right? And it will be the key for freeing the resources needed when introducing more complex and precise treatment techniques, such as online adaptive. Also, if you would automate all the less complex cases, you will free time for working more on the more difficult cases, and I think this could improve the overall plan quality at a clinic. Another benefit could be that you reduce the risk of human errors in this process.
Yeah, and I think in addition to the time savings and all that Kjell said, the thing with automation is that once you have automated, your data is more harmonized and standardized than if you do it manually. And that then paves the way for analytics. So by automating more, you have more harmonized data, and you can then avoid a lot of the data cleaning that you have to do otherwise, and get going with your analytics and get insights from your real world data.
I agree with you. I think consistency is a very important part or aspect of this, and automating will harmonize your treatment planning in the clinic and probably even globally. And I think automation will also help, for instance, improve treatment planning in the developing world, really reusing existing knowledge.
Yes. Any of you would like to add from the audience anything that have you already been using any automation in your clinics and already see any value of it? If not, we have tools for that, so you can always come and check out our booth. But it is valuable, that's for sure. But what else we have with that? It's thank you. So where should it? So now we understand that it's valuable, right? But let's say you have no experience with automation yet. Would love to have some experience with that automation, right? So Emil, Kjell, Fredrik, where should a new site start when introducing automation?
Yeah, I would say start easy and expand from there. Also, you would benefit the most from these first steps if you aim for the largest patient group at your clinic when introducing this new way of planning. And yeah.
Yeah, and I think we can add just that, I mean, you can utilize the scripting in RayStation, but also RayCare. And if you combine these two, you can also automate a bigger chunk of the whole patient journey in radiotherapy. And I think we see customers doing that already.
Yeah, and start step by step. You could, for example, start by automating the segmentation part, using deep learning segmentation and structure templates to automate the definition of the margins for the PTV, for example.
So I think, I mean, starting even earlier, just having templates for the naming of structures, making sure you have consistent naming.
Yeah,
that's also part of automation.
Yeah, you're right. And then when you have automated these steps, you could use RayStation scripting, or for example, if you have RayCare, the RayCare workflows to automate the entire workflow.
All right. So we heard that when it comes to automation, start step by step, start slowly, right?
Yeah.
One thing at a time. That's important because otherwise you would get overwhelmed. But it applies everywhere. So that's the key point there. But we saw many tools that we have in the first slide, what we can offer from RaySearch when it comes to automation. And we also have different automation strategies, right? So what are they and how do they fit across RaySearch tools? Ready?
Yes. So if we talk about automation of treatment plan generation, then we have multi-criteria optimization, we have protocols, but we also have the fully automated approaches such as ECHO and deep learning planning. So we have developed a toolbox for the customer to use. And I think these different methods complement each other really, really well. So for instance, you can use deep learning planning for common protocols where you have models available and you configure these ones, and then you have automated the large volumes of patients that go through the radiotherapy clinic. And then you can complement that with ECHO to go for the protocols and patient cohorts where you don't have models, where you maybe have less standardized protocols. And in the end, you can put all this into scripting and automate the full flow. So I think there's a great combination here that you can explore as a customer.
And then I need to mention the Plan Explorer, the module we have in RayStation, really tying it all together, where you can easily set up your templates for a diagnosis and make RayStation automatically create some, many, or even very many plans for the same patient, where you can explore the different strategies and have really a set of plans for different strategies for different beam setups or even different modalities, all with one click, and have it just for exploration and then select the plan that is the best one.
Yeah, and I mean, we basically turn it around, right? So instead of sitting and working a patient at a time, when you open RayStation, you have a set of plans in Plan Explorer that you can look at, review, explore, filter out, and select the one you think is the best fit for this specific patient. So we turn the workflow around with this automation.
Yes, and I also believe like Plan Explorer is a new model that we just worked recently, and we now have it upgraded, as we call it. So more than welcome to come at the booth and take a look how it looks now. I believe Plan Explorer also gives you like the other element of explorative treatment planning. Like it gives you this augmentation level that you might have not even considered that it's possible, but just having these different approaches, different automation strategies, as you mentioned, DLP, deep learning planning, eco, all protocol driven, you decide, all of it put together in the Plan Explorer model. There you have a full power of see what is the possibilities, what are the possibilities when it comes to treatment planning. So yeah, but so the last question that we have, I mean, we can talk about automation and how little clicks we want to have. But as a user, I would be quite concerned if I'm like, what if I'm having only a few clicks? Like, is that okay? What about the quality? Do we do anything bad to quality? Can we make it sure that implementing high levels of automation does not impact negatively the quality?
Yeah, so I think the first thing you should do when starting to automate certain processes in the treatment planning workflow is to validate that approach, validate those models before you go live. So that you do before you start. Then you need to monitor what's going on, because once you're live, you want to have continuous monitoring of the performance of the automation. And we provide tools for this as well. And we are developing, for example, machine learning performance monitoring tools, where you can then look at how much manual adjustments do you do to the machine learning results, how much time did you spend, and you can then split that in different dimensions. So you can also see what happens when we introduce a new version. Did we improve the output? Do we do less manual fine-tuning, etc., etc. But it's super important to point out here, of course, that there's always a human in the loop. At some point, there is someone reviewing, potentially fine-tuning and signing off before treatment delivery. And Another thing we can work on and that we are looking into as well is to automatically detect, basically auto QA of the automation. So automatically detect when the model or the automation might get into problems. It could be that you apply a protocol or a model where the patient geometry, maybe there is a surgically removed prostate, and if you then apply a prostate DLS model, it will not work. So we can also have it with artificial hips and so on to flag when the automation you implement is out of the distribution of the patient or the data you work on. So these are tools we work on to support you when you implement an automation. But at the end of the day, I think it's validate before you start, monitor what's going on, and maybe have a process in the clinic where you, every 10th plan or every 20th plan, whatever you do, a manual plan or manual segmentations, so you keep that going, and then you compare that to the automated results. Maybe you try to beat the AI or the automation, and in that way you keep up your skills. We see that customers is doing this as well.
Yes, and we do have very nice automatic fine-tuning tools for plans in RayStation. For example, the reduce organ at risk dose and fine-tuning optimization based on clinical goals.
Great. And I think it's very important that we are putting a lot of focus on performance monitoring and developing more products there. Because as a new user, when it comes to automation, you start step by step, but you also need to be sure that your steps that you start and take in more and more as you go do not have any negative impact on your quality planning. So yes. Thank you. So these were the discussion points that we had. If you have any questions, we can take them now. Or else we can share a very real-world example how automation translates into clinical gains.
Yes, so our collaboration partner, Region Network in Belgium, has implemented scripting, deep learning segmentation, deep learning planning for the prostate patients. And they have implemented scripting utilizing RayCare and RayStation. And when looking at the real-world data using Ray Intelligence, and we're digging into how much time did they spend on patient modeling and dose planning before automation and post automation, we see that they almost the time spent is almost 50% down, so half the time. And so it's one thing to stand there and talk about this, but there's another thing to measure it in the real world. And I think these numbers are super strong. And this, of course, incentivizes this clinic to continue and automating other protocols, other patient cohorts. And we see that trend is coming a lot, very strong now. Full automation can also be accomplished for breast cases, and we have other customers doing that. Yes.
Yes, so these are very concrete numbers of what automation can do. So I would say that was an intro to many tools that we have available. So once again, let me repeat myself and say that you're more than welcome to come at our reception, book a demo, go and see what are these tools, because Emil, Shell, and Fredrik, they represent their teams, and their teams are developing not for themselves, it's for the cancer patients. So, and for our users. So let's see how we can all of us benefit out of these tools. So yes, thank you so much, all three of you. It was lovely to have a discussion, and I think thanks for kicking starting. Yes, give it applause.
Thank you.